Spirit of God in the clear running water, blowing to greatness the trees on the hill. Blow, blow, blow till I hear the breath of the Spirit blowing in me.
Hello and welcome to Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich and our guest today is Adi Hendarto, who is the leader of a Catholic charismatic lay group called Holy Trinity, and they do a lot of healing and praying over people. They do a lot of beautiful singing and are quite a joyful group, and they're in Melbourne at the moment, so it's great to have them here. Welcome to the program, Adi.
Thank you, Mirella.
And you're often singing in these churches as well, aren't you?
Correct. Yeah.
Do you want to say what churches you sing in?
We're helping with the ministry of singing in Saint Scholastic in Burwood and also in Saint Gregory in Doncaster.
Beautiful. And then every now and then you'll go somewhere else. There'll be some other things.
Yes, Saint Peter and Paul in Doncaster East. We're also doing healing ministry there.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Well, I think that's where we all need to go back to now. We need to all sort of go back to God, go back to healing, go back to healing all of us spiritually, mentally, physically.
Correct.
Yeah. So let's start with Mary's message from Medjugorje on, let's get it up, it's disappeared. It's on the 25th, this is the latest message, the 25th of September 2023. We'll start with reading Our Lady's message and then we'll talk about it. Our Lady said to everyone on earth, "Dear children, I'm calling you to strong prayer. Modernism wants to enter into your thoughts and steal from you the joy of prayer and of meeting with Jesus. That is why, my dear little children, renew prayer in your families, so that my motherly heart may be joyful as in the first days when I had chosen you. And day and night prayer resounded. And heaven was not silent, but abundantly bestowed peace and blessings on this place of grace. Thank you for having responded to my call." So that's the message. She's referring probably to Medjugorje, where she's been appearing, because she's saying how when I chose you. But they say, the visionaries that see Mary say that she's chosen all of us that are open to her message, that hear her prayer. Well, she's chosen all of us, whether we're open to it or not really. But so I'll read it sentence by sentence and we can discuss it. Dear children, I'm calling you to strong prayer. So sometimes we may pray and it's just wishy-washy. We're not really connected with what we're saying. We're just maybe rattling off the rosary or just rattling off prayers without making any connection. But if we pray from the heart and really sincerely pray, that's when heaven and earth move.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very strong message, especially talking about praying in the family, because the family unit that now is being attacked, because we can see a lot of marriage being dissolved and children not coming to the church, which is the faith is not it's not intergenerational faith anymore. So the parent cannot pass on the faith to the children.
Yeah.
And as a parent myself, find it difficult to bring children go to the Sunday mass is a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
Which it's very sad, but that's the reality of what we're facing at the moment.
Yeah.
And it is very strong because the children is the future.
Yeah.
If we cannot keep the faith to the children, then what's the future?
Yeah. I mean, it's also a lot to do with if the children are in mixing with other children that go to Mass, then they'll go to Mass easier. Yeah. But if they're mixing with other people that they're not interested or they don't believe in God or whatever, it makes it a bit harder. That's for sure.
That's true, especially when they can decide on their own, right? If they say like they don't want to wake up on Sunday morning, what can we do?
Yeah,
but sometimes you just need to motivate them. Like I myself, I bring the children to the church. I ask them to altar serving and also like singing in the church. Get them involved. Yeah. And I said to them, like, if you get involved in the mass, then the mass can go quickly. Which they said that it's true. To get them to do a little bit of action and get them excited to go to the mass. Yeah.
Well, even singing, like if they're singing, that's great because they're using their vocal cords. Correct. And they're starting another sort of hobby, really.
That's true. As a parent, you probably understand. Ministering to others is easier than ministering to your own children. They wouldn't listen to you.
But you know what they do? They do listen to you, even though you don't think it. You don't think it, and you don't see
That's
it.
true.
You'll see, like you think about yourself and your parents.
Correct.
There are some things I'm sure that your parents have passed on to you that
Correct.
you're doing, and they
Without
probably thought, "Oh, what's he doing? He's not doing what I'm saying." You know, at that time, you know, when you were a
it's true.
teenager or whatever.
Yeah, but the funny story is about how my daughter, I asked her to sing, and I believe, you know, in singing the church song or the Christian song or the Catholic song, there's a power in it.
Yes.
There's a message behind it,
in the words,
and it's the one that you will carry on. So I asked her to sing. At the first, she said she doesn't want to do it, but you know, she do it anyway.
Yeah.
And then one day she said, like, because we're singing this song, "Power of Your Love."
Yeah.
And all the time, like, you know, in the church as the opening hymn. And one day she said to me, like, "Daddy, did you come to my room last night?" She's like, "No, I did not come." I said, like, "I can hear someone sit next to me and singing Power of Your Love."
Oh.
And then straight away I said, like, my daughter's name is Lana. I said, like, "Lana, that's Holy Spirit."
Wow.
Singing to you, because that's what I believe. Like, you know, if you singing, and then you, Saint Augustine say, like, singing is twice praying.
Yeah. I love singing, and I love listening to music, Christian music. It's just that's really good. You know, that's really lovely to listen to. There's a beautiful song called "In Jesus' Name," which we played before.
Yes,
So it's a beautiful song. If anyone wants to listen to that on YouTube, it's so beautiful. Just crank it up really loud and sing it through your heart's content. So the next sentence Our Lady said was, "Modernism wants to enter into your thoughts and steal from you the joy of prayer and of meeting with Jesus." So, yeah, well, I guess there is a bit of a spiritual war going on, isn't there?
Of
like
course.
it's, you know, who are we choosing? We're choosing the world and all the rubbish and the
That's the
mainstream media, all that sort of stuff, or are we choosing God and holiness and health and His nature and goodness?
Yeah, the world in itself is moving very rapidly. As I said, like, you know, I've been involved in this movement for 30 years.
Yeah.
If I see, like, people that's probably 10 years younger than me and people who's 20 years younger than me, you can see between that 10 years gap, the way they think is just rapidly change. Kids nowadays is, when they ask you to come to any event, to a talk or anything, one thing in their mind is like, what is it in me? Like, you know, is it worth my while?
Which, we'll have to continue with that. We've got to go to a break. You're watching Spirit of Life. Stay with us. We'll be back with more very shortly. Hello and welcome back to Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich and we're here with Adi Hendarto, who is the leader of a Catholic group called Holy Trinity, of the lay section of it, and it's a charismatic healing group as well. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you, Mirella.
Just before the break, you were saying something. Would you like to continue?
Yeah, I was saying that how the world today is very rapidly, especially the way people think. Kids these days, if you ask them to come into an event, whether it's a mass or like a prayer meeting or even a talk, they always think, like, what is it in me? Like,
what's in it for me?
What's in it for me, and whether it's worth my while to come. And they're very stingy with their time. You know what I mean? Like, back on the days we've got nothing better to do, so everyone invite us to go. We come along. So it is something that we are struggling at the moment to get them to learn, because, you know, you cannot grow your faith without learning. And sometimes to ask them to learn is very hard. Looking at the social media now, back on the days YouTube, you can have a video for 10 minutes, people will see it. But now with TikTok or Instagram Reel, they just 15 seconds. They have to scroll. So people need to get, agitated in terms of their you have to get them to want more to listen to you, and their attention span is getting shorter and shorter.
Ah, yes, I think I see what you're saying. Saying there's a lot of
Stimulation,
around.
correct,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's just like there's so much, and it's hard to go within. But it's so much more worth it to go within and feel that peace within you and feel that connection with God, because nothing beats that feeling.
yeah.
And that's what you have to tell them.
That's true. I mean, like, that's what we've been praying for the younger children, to encounter Jesus personally.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. We're going to have a retreat next weekend, this
Yes.
weekend,
Oh, sounds beautiful.
which focusing on the high school students.
Yeah.
We've gathered like 40 of them.
Yeah,
They are our children, you know what I mean. They've been in the community for a long time, but now
that's
it's a time for them to encounter Jesus.
Yeah.
Because I believe if you can encounter Jesus, then you know your life change.
Yeah,
And your perspective in life will be different. Even though along the way in your path in your life, you probably stray a little bit, but that encounter with Jesus experience will stay with you
it's
forever.
like the anchor.
Because I see it along 30 years of me involved in this movement, how people sometimes just they stray far away, back to their normal life, and then they come back again because they've tasted how it is to experience Jesus in their life.
Yeah. That's so beautiful. So you're running this youth group for
Correct.
them. That's a youth retreat place.
Yes, we're trying to, fingers crossed, because this is what our aim for them
Well,
to
that's
encounter.
great. You've already got 40 young people going, so that's
yeah.
pretty good. And are you running it? Are the parents running it, or how's it working?
We've got the sisters and the priest coming from Indonesia to help us.
Yeah.
The struggle is because we're from Indonesia, and then we have to, running it in English, which is a little bit of a struggle. But I believe it's not a barrier at all. Last time we did a healing ministry with the sisters from Indonesia, we translate. Because that's what they do, people coming from America to Indonesia, they speak in English and then they can translate. So.
And the people on the retreat, are they only Indonesian, or are they Australians as well?
At
like
the moment,
Anglo-Saxons and different nationalities?
At the moment, only Indonesian. But this is the first one we focus on the children. So if it's successful, we never know. Maybe next year we will open for more people to come.
Might grow in different ways. Oh, that's good. Well, that's a start. Anyway, that's good for the youth to have something to go to, and it all helps. Every little bit helps. But mostly, like I was saying off camera, our example is the biggest thing we can do. And we underestimate that, I think, because whatever the parents do, usually the children follow something similar.
Correct.
So the parents have a really big responsibility to be a good example. Correct. In fact, even one of the visionaries, I think it was Mirella, was talking about that too, that it's our example. You know?
Of course,
And we show them that we go to Mass, even if it's raining and it's cold or whatever, then they go.
And you have to show them the love. Like, if you go to the Mass and then you're quarreling with your partners, your wife, your husband, and then you don't have a really good family life, then your children will say, like, what's the point being a Catholic, being a Christian, but, outside the church, you're somebody else, and, you're not living the truth.
Exactly. It's got to be...
examples.
Dinky die. You got to be true. You got to be true to what you say. I mean, not all families are both parents are Christian.
Christian, correct.
Maybe one is and the other one isn't. It doesn't really mean that the child. Well, actually, in the Catholic faith, if you marry someone that's not a Catholic, the husband still, or the wife still has to sign something to say you're going to agree to bring him up Catholic.
Correct.
Anyway.
Yeah, if you marry in the Catholic Church, then.
So usually they're supportive, I guess. So anyway, so the next sentence Our Lady said is, "That is why, my dear little children, renew prayer in your families, so that my motherly heart may be joyful as in the first days when I had chosen you, and day and night prayer resounded, and heaven was not silent, but abundantly bestowed peace and blessings on this place of grace." So that's beautiful with the family. So
Correct.
do you pray? How do you manage in the family with prayer?
We have we pray in the family. Like my younger one, she likes to do rosary, so it's a bit, sometimes she just jump into our bed and she wants to do rosary.
Yeah. How old's he?
She's 8-year-old.
She's 8. Okay.
Yeah, and we also, because since they are born, because I've been in the community for a long time.
Yeah.
So we've got a prayer meeting every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So twice a month we have
Yeah.
a prayer meeting, and that's
Yeah.
when the children look at, as a family we do a prayer as well.
Yeah, so they come together. And do
Yeah.
they pray at home together with you?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
So that's good. So I know a lot of families that do that too. A lot of the children just pray every night with the family.
Correct. Yeah.
And some don't, like, some do and some don't. I guess
Yeah.
it's just, it comes back to we have to pray. We have to have the example ourselves. We have to really feel God's
That's true.
presence.
Yeah.
And I think also if you're pushing religion on people, no, they're not going to like it
They're not
either.
gonna
That
like
pushes
it,
them
yeah.
away more.
Yeah.
If anyone pushes anything on
That's true.
anything for that matter,
Yeah.
on anyone.
But I
Right.
mean, like, you have to lead by examples, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. And you're saying some beautiful experiences before, some wild kind of experiences about people really changing their lives. I think it was in Indonesia. A lady was on the other side of
Oh, you mean
faith?
yeah? You mean the one with the healing ministry?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
one, yeah. Okay, so it is a story, not from me, but it's from Father.
Oh, actually, we'll say that story when we return from the
Of
break. I
course.
just realised we've got to go to a
Yeah.
break. You're watching Spirit of Life. Stay with us. We'll be back with more very shortly. Hello and welcome back to Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich and our guest is Adi Hendarto. Welcome to the program again.
Thank you, Mirella.
Now, before the break, you started to tell us a bit about a story that you heard about this lady being healed. Could you
Yes, so this is like a story from Father Emiliano Tardif. He's a famous healer. He's on the way to become a saint, beatified now.
Okay.
So it is a story that I read from the book from Sister Peach McKenna.
Yes.
She's also a healer from America.
Yeah.
So one day, Father Emiliano Tardif is having a rally for a healing ministry in one city. I'm not sure whether it's in South America or somewhere.
Yeah.
And there is this lady who's running a brothel.
Yeah.
She's running a brothel, and then she has a cancer. And she heard about how Father Emiliano Tardif is having a rally.
Yeah.
And she wants to go there, but she thinks like she's a sinner. And she hasn't got any ticket or anything, so everything is sold out.
Yeah.
So she went there on the day of the rally,
Yeah.
and she's listening from the behind the door, like outside the arena. And at that time, there is this bishop assistant that has the same cancer as her, being prayed over on the stage, and she was praying to God that she's because she's got the same cancer. She said like, God, that's me. I want you, you know what I mean. I want you to work miracle on me.
gosh,
So
yeah.
she was praying over when the lady was praying over, and miraculously she got healed. But the bishop assistant didn't get healed. She passed away because she's probably has, you know what I mean. She's probably go to heaven straight away.
Yeah.
But because of that miracle, because of that healing, even though it's not directly, because she's got praying over when she's outside the arena,
Yeah.
she's converted. And she pretty much just closed up the brothels and let all the girls go.
So it was like a she believed she was going to be healed, or she had faith that she'd
Correct,
be healed, and
correct.
then she changed her
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
See, that's beautiful, isn't it? So it can change people's lives, to clean up their lives, to have more positive lives, more positive impacts on
Correct,
people. Yeah.
correct. Like,
But it's feeling that presence of God that does that, isn't it? It's got to be I mean, sometimes people have to cry when that happens, in a
Correct,
joyful way.
yeah.
Like it has to be a deep move
A
if
deep
you're
movement,
not following God, I guess.
yeah, I mean, like if you just open your heart, then God will touch you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah, because like I said before, like healing is one thing, but the conversion is the other thing that you need to work on.
Yeah.
That's the main, like, you have to turn yourself back to God.
Yeah.
And after the healing, then what is it after that? Then you have to make God as part of your life, the center of your life.
Yeah. And then you seem like I remember we were traveling, and there was this guy, and we were having a friend over for dinner, and then I went to look to see where we could eat. Because we were in a motel, and so I thought, look, maybe we could sit near the pool and eat, or we'd have it in our little balcony. And I went outside to look, and this guy was out there, and he was saying, he just started chatting with me, And he said, you know, where are you from, blah, blah, blah. And then he ended up saying he'd been in jail. And I was like, oh, I'm by myself here, it's dark. But, you know, they're the logical things to think, oh, well, who is this guy? But you know what, I didn't even feel that. I didn't even feel scared. I really didn't feel scared. I didn't feel anything. And I just, I said, oh, because I could see he was reaching out. And I said, oh, well, I said, have you ever, I said something like, was it something serious or whatever? He goes, oh, it was something to do with restraining order. He wanted to see his children or something. And I thought, oh, gee, I said, look, do you ever pray, like just pray to God just to be with you, to be in that, the silence of your heart and just pray? And he said, yeah, I do. Because the only reason I said it because I saw he was wearing a cross, because I said, I see you wearing the cross. He goes, yeah, I do. And then he goes, and you gave me so much inspiration just seeing you, you know, here doing stuff. And I thought, oh, that's so beautiful. But just these people can, you know, there is, and I was thinking he was hanging around a lot, and I thought, I better not open the swipe door just in case he doesn't belong. And he pulls out his swipe card and lets me in. So he did belong in there. And then I rang back after we'd left and all that, and I was speaking to the girl that runs the place, because we were just chatting about something else. And she was a Christian too, and she was saying, I was telling her the experience. I said, it's so beautiful how he did all these things, you know, he was such a prayerful person. She goes, he trashed the room and got kicked out. And I thought, oh, well, I kind of had a bit of a nosedive, but, you know, he's still got faith in him. Maybe he's not completely, you know, recovered from whatever he's going through, but he's still got his faith, you know. It doesn't have, like, people, if they've come from a different side of life, you know, they'll go through different things, you know, but they're still, as long as they have God wherever they are, you know, no matter what. You know, there's a girl that used to come on this show, and she said that she used to be in jail, and she would go back to the jail and she'd give them Bibles, and she would get them to watch this show, and, you know, that was years ago, that time we did that. But, you know, it's just faith, and it's free for all.
Of course, it's free for all. That's
the thing. It's free for all people. It's there for the taking. So it's just up to us to sort of say yes, isn't it?
Of course. I mean, like, there's always a calling to spread God's love everywhere. And it's just a matter of whether you want to say yes, like Mary, or you just want to ignore it and move on. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And what about you with your wife? Were you both Catholics when you first met? We
both Catholic. We met in the community. So, you know, that's why it's many of my friends also met their spouse in the community. It's why we move on, and it's very easy to, you know, to transition. Yeah, we're very lucky in that term.
Right. Yeah. And was she in Jakarta when you married, or you're here?
No, I met her here in the same community. Wow. So we're in a cell group. So we meet every single week back then. Yeah. So it's like 10 to 15 people. Yeah. So I met her in the same group. Yeah. And
oh, that's beautiful. So she shares the same faith, and you share the same faith. So you're all on the same path. Yeah. I mean, most children end up similar to their parents when their parents are on the same path.
Yeah, hopefully, you know, because it's very easy to, you know what I mean. In Australia, it's very multicultural.
Yeah, and I guess also the school system kind of pushes a lot of other stuff as well. So you just got to, I guess, hang tight to your beliefs and focus.
The thing is, we have to tell them the truth, and you know that's when the truth will reveal itself when time comes.
Yeah, well, the truth is always going to win anyway in the end for every single person on this earth. The truth sets us all free, you know. And the more we live by truth and act by truth and become truthful people, the better off we all are. We've come to the end of the program now. Thank you so much for coming on the program, Adi. It's lovely having you here.
Thanks, Mirella. It's a pleasure.
Beautiful. Well, you're watching Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich, and our guest was Adi Hendarto. I hope you enjoyed the program. May God be with you and in you and around you always.